Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel. I apologize for missing last week's reading. I honestly needed some time just for myself. I feel like with these big themes, with the eclipse that's happened, and with this Mercury retrograde now that's starting, I definitely was feeling those themes of just needing to just lay low for a bit and have some time to just receive for myself. So I definitely have been taking some more action in those areas. So I appreciate your patience, but I'm very excited to get back to our readings now. So let's dive into this week. We've got a really cool week. We're definitely seeing these very strong themes come through of balance and restoration, okay? Because a lot of us are, we've had some big epiphanies. I feel like so many were getting illumination to where things haven't been working, and we're going to continue to see that the next few weeks with Mercury retrograde here. This is the time for review. This is the time for restoration and rest, and to be really tuning into ourselves and our intuition, especially that we're still in this Pisces season. This is a prime time for us to be utilizing our spiritual gifts and utilizing our gifts in general. So we're going to see a lot of this rise in that. With Venus going retrograde too, we're getting a lot around our own relationship with self and with others, and our relationships when it comes to that giving and receiving energy. So maybe a lot of you have been illuminated the past while around where you're over giving, or where you're not giving enough, or where you're feeling you want to give more or receive more in your life. Maybe we're noticing these themes of self-respect. Maybe we're noticing these themes around how willing you are to be given compliments, receive goodness in your life, where you might be self-punishing. We're going to see some really strong themes this week around this as well, especially with the heart chakra and the throat chakra being very dominant in this reading. So be very mindful for these themes this next little while, because they're going to be very, very prominent. And also be aware of them in your relationships, also when it comes to your friendships, to the people in your life. Are they perhaps experiencing this as well? And to have that kind of compassion and heads up to note that relationships are going to be on the forefront for a lot of us, that these shifts are happening. And not just in relationships, right? Our relationship to receiving, to giving. So we're going to see these themes play out in career. We're going to see these themes play out in all areas. Health, how's your health been? Maybe some of you are feeling run down. Maybe some of you are noticing, hey, I've got some issues here that I need to take care of. So once again, we're getting these very strong messages and wake-up calls, and we need to be present. We need to be willing to receive these downloads. So make sure, as a reminder, you are taking time to receive these downloads. You are taking time to see the lessons that you are being taught. And so you can move to this next phase of your life, so we can come out of this Mercury retrograde ready to take forward action. So really, really exciting. We have some really beautiful themes this week, all relating to abundance and receiving, which I love. So we're getting a lot around play. We're getting a lot around rewarding ourselves, moving into this space of abundance. A lot of us fear Mercury retrograde. A lot of us fear the energies and themes, and maybe we are noticing this very dominant theme of fear in our lives or in the world right now. But it is so important to really make yourself the exception to that, because I'm really hearing this week we need to keep our abundance level high. We need to be in this mindset that everything is working out for you, not to you, but everything is happening in your favor. And hopefully you've been seeing that through this eclipse season. I feel like a lot of us were getting illuminated to very strong clarity that we've been needing, that is working in our favor to help us stand into our gifts and into our light and show us our capability, where we've been not confident perhaps in ourselves. There's been a lot of that coming through. So notice this. What epiphanies have you had lately? And be very mindful. How has this all been working in my favor, right? So if you've had challenges, how are those challenges actually the best things for you? How are they actually serving you? How have they been propelling you forward to take the much needed action you've been needing to take? Okay, so really, really key to look into these things this week. So from what channeled here, we have allowing yourself to receive freely from the universe. Stop doubting yourself. Tears over what you've lost, but failing to see what you have gained. Okay, keep your expectations high for yourself and your well-being. There is nothing to worry about. Stay clear of judgment, your own or anybody else's. You are being protected now and always. So yes, we have this very strong theme to start off the week. You're being protected. You are safe. There is nothing for you to fear. Okay, all of these things are happening in your favor. And I love how they're really saying, like, keep expectations high. So once again, our abundance mindset is going to be key the next few weeks. So I'm really saying we need to prioritize play. We need to prioritize this open vibration, because we need to be willing to receive from the universe. And this is key. This is where this little bit of introspection is going to be so helpful this week. So as it stands now, tune into your heart chakra. Take a minute to slow down and just close your eyes, feel your heart, put that hand on your heart and tune in. Is your heart in protection mode? Or where is your heart when it comes to this willingness to participate in life, to be an active participant? Because they're really showing me how a lot of us have these guards up, how we have this protection mode in place where it's like, I've been hurt before and I need to keep my expectations level so I don't go into anything new in this new chapter and get hurt by it. So they're kind of showing me this defense mechanism that's in place for a lot of us. But this is actually not helping us when it comes to our dreams and it's coming to this next level, because once again, now we're just going to be manifesting the same of that. We're not really willing to open our heart and remain open-hearted to receive what's actually coming. So for a lot of us, we're programmed from our past. We're looking behind us and going, well, this is what's happened to me whenever I've tried to do this before, or this is what's happened to me so far in my life. So this is where my expectation is at. But they're saying, no. Your expectations now need to be high. Okay, just because that's been your life so far, or what you've learned to accept in your life, does not mean that's what you should be accepting. Does not mean that that is actually healthy for you, and that you actually deserve way more than what you've been accepting. So they're really wanting us to look at our heart chakras this week. Where are they? Is your heart open? Is it willing to receive good, or has it closed itself off to that possibility of more? That possibility that goodness and your dreams and abundance beyond your wildest dreams is actually accessible to you. So they're showing me this war within the belief systems between the old and the programmed beliefs we've held on to, and these new beliefs for life that we actually want to believe. And they're saying, like, what's the hurt in you believing it? What's it going to hurt for you to actually go all in to this belief structure that things can work out for you, that everything is happening for your highest and greatest good? Because once more, they're kind of showing me how we feel like this is going to be tough, this is going to be hard, it's going to be overwhelming for us to change our beliefs or to try something new and actually trust that things can work out for us. But we need to start almost tricking ourselves into seeing that it's actually easy. So once again, we have this belief, this is going to be so hard. How do I maintain this abundant mindset? How do I believe when I've never believed that in my life? And they're also showing me the pain here. So we might get awakening to where there is pain and hurt from not receiving what you know in your heart you're worthy of. And we need to grieve that. So you might get awareness, okay, to where you need to let go of the grief around not receiving what you wanted in the past, but letting that go so you can now make way for it in your future. So we need to clear that old, and we need to release those blocks to our abundance and be willing to believe that things can be easy. So they're kind of showing me this phrase, ease and grace, like everything is coming to me with ease and grace. This new belief system of abundance is with ease and grace. Like, just keep pouring yourself into that energy. Ease and grace, ease and grace. Everything is happening for me. Everything is happening for my highest good. Keep your expectations high, because so far they're showing me our expectations have been very low. We just don't see anything really changing for us. But what's funny is they're showing me our intuition and the alarm bells going, like, actually there is something, and you know it. Deep down, you know it in your bones, in your gut. You are meant for more, okay? So what I'm hearing is this week we might actually have to teach ourselves how to receive, how to open up our hearts again, how to do things differently to actually entertain this possibility of new, okay? So how do we do that? Number one, they're showing me rewarding yourself. So when was the last time that you gave yourself something good? When was the last time you really rewarded yourself with what you really wanted? Because they're showing me us putting things off, from pushing things away, going, no, I can't, and basically denying yourself the good in life. So when was the last time you really just unconditionally gave to yourself without this guilt, without this reservation of, oh, I shouldn't? You know, think of that and really go into what it is your soul is needing now. So what do you need to give to yourself this week? What is your soul requiring? What is your body requiring? What is it that you need to treat yourself to? Okay, this just popped in. Some of you need to treat yourself to a session. So I am hearing a lot of us have put a lot of stress on ourselves recently. We might be feeling very hyper independent in things, even though we don't want to be. So I'm hearing some of us need to learn how to be taken care of. So some of us need to book sessions. Some of us need to go and do treatments, you know, whatever this looks like for you, but whatever makes you feel truly cared for is what you need to be rewarding yourself with. So when was the last time you booked a treatment for yourself? When was the last time you booked a session where you could just be loved up and topped up and have somebody else look after you? I'm really hearing that's what we need. We need this nurturing energy. We need to be willing to receive this. So think of ways that help you receive love and participate that and reward yourself with that this week, okay? Because the more you reward yourself, the more your heart is going to realize it is safe for you to let down those guards and receive freely. The more you participate in self-care and acts of love, the more and more you're going to be getting used to receiving goodness without guilt and shame. So they're just saying practice, practice, practice. Some of us might literally need to practice self-love and care. Some of us need to practice receiving goodness in our lives because we've denied ourselves for so long. Okay, so this is the advice that coming through. The other thing is playtime. So a lot of us have forgotten how to play. We have forgotten how to have fun. So once again, life can become super serious, and that's definitely been coming through. We've had some very serious vibes the past while. This whole start to the year has been very serious for most of us, you know, even on a world planetary scale. So think about that. How serious have you been taking life, and where do you need to just infuse a little play, infuse a little wonder, infuse a little fun, because I am just hearing we need it. We are human beings. We're here to have a beautiful experience. Yes, we're going to have tests and challenges and pain and suffering sometimes, but we have to balance this, and we're going to see these very strong themes of justice and fairness coming through this week. So notice where the scales need to be balanced, okay? And some of us can take that as like, oh my God, am I going to get my karma, or am I going to get bad things? It's like, no, don't go there. No. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you haven't been fair to yourself. Maybe you haven't been giving enough to yourself. Ooh, my throat is just going right off right there. Woo! Okay. So this is strong truth just coming through. See how they cut my voice out? So yeah, this is like, you need to be paying special attention to this. So where are you needing to balance the scales, which means you need to be receiving goodness, not all this tough stuff all the time, because this is what you're getting used to, is this very serious energy, the toughness of life. A lot of you are unable to see the other side. So this is where the scales must be balanced. So I'm seeing laughter, I'm seeing play, I'm seeing humor. You know, go to a comedy show, go be with friends that give you this energy that just gets you out of your head and into life. Do things, plan things that really allow you to participate in the goodness. That is really, really big. So when we're in this vibration of play, I feel called to remind you that you are not thinking, okay? So if you find yourself full of anxiety this week, maybe there's choices to be had or made, and that's going to come up. Mercury retrograde is this review time, so it's really easy for us to fall into the weight of that and the seriousness of it, and like, oh, I need to make a choice, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. Really don't let yourself get into the anxiety and fear of this, okay? This is a time to review, yes, but how can you take this time in a new approach, in a new way, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna see what's necessary for change, but I'm not gonna like stay in this heavy vibe. I'm gonna allow myself to still participate in life and have a beautiful experience. So I'm really seeing that when we play, we are not thinking. And think about that. When you're playing a sport, as an example, if you're at the gym, as an example, you know, any of these things, that bodily movement, or you're playing a board game, you know, or you're at the movie theater, you can't really think about your problems because you're participating in an action that is getting your mind focused on something else. And it's a singular focus, and it's an absorbing focus. So think of those things that you can do this week, because that's going to be very key for a lot of us when it comes to our mental health and making sure that we're not slipping down that slippery slope of anxiety. Okay. So if you notice that coming, please do things that help you get into the present moment, that enrapture you in fun, that enrapture you in this vibration of play. They're showing me the power of music, the power of nature. These are things we need to be doing to help us shake off the seriousness, okay? So be very mindful. If you are someone you notice you have high anxiety, you take life very seriously, you're having a hard time believing in the goodness of life, these are the steps that you need to be taking. So take center stage this week. I need more fun. I need more play. Make plans for yourself. Have things to look forward to. Because if there's nothing to look forward to, you know, like, your life is just not going to be fun. Your life is always going to be this monotonous cycle. And they're really showing us like, no, like, life is not always about pain and suffering, okay? Let's change it up. It can be if you make it that way, but let's shift the attention. Let's shift the focus, okay? So really be mindful of that this week. So from there, we have spring cleaning. Cleaning your house and your home, releasing what you do not need to welcome what you do. Okay, this was cool because then they brought up dress, and I thought this was so interesting. So dress code. What would the new you look like? Dressing and appearance matter. They boost health, vitality, and mood. Okay, now this was really interesting. They then posed the question, who are you now? So when it comes to your home, when it comes to your body, when it comes to your dress, okay, what needs an update? Because I'm really hearing that these things are outdated for us because we've had this glow up, okay, whether we're aware of it or not. maybe we're starting to notice this shift. And I feel like a lot of us are feeling this. We're feeling like we've changed. We're seeing that the world's changed. We've changed. Our vibration has changed. Maybe we've made some huge decisions in our lives and we're just like, man, I just need some change, something fresh. Okay. So they're wanting us to relearn ourselves now because we have changed. We now need to reanalyze, okay, where am I still holding on to outdated things or material things that just that they're not me anymore, right? So maybe you're needing to look at your closet and go, okay, is this me? Does this make me feel good in myself? Does this make me feel happy? Does this make me feel proud? Does this make me feel like all of me? And I'm really seeing us take these things in consideration because the way we dress matters. The way we feel matters because that's what's important. It's the way it makes you feel. And they're really mentioning this, like, clothes have this power. When you get dressed in the morning, it starts the tone for your day, right? So what are the first outfits that you put on? You know, are you staying in your pajamas all day? Does that make you feel productive? Does that make you feel your best self? Right? And there's nothing wrong with having some rest days. Please don't take this the wrong way. You know, there's nothing wrong. Wear what you want to wear. But the biggest thing is, how do these things impact you and your mental health? And they're mentioning the home as well. So where are there things that you're just like, man, this isn't me anymore. This doesn't feel like me anymore. My house just doesn't feel clear and clean. Like, we need to shift the energy along. So they're really showing, like, on this energetic level as well, how much our environments affect us and how they mirror what's going on internally. So this week, if you're ready for change, and say you're like, I just don't know what change I need, and you're feeling stuck on that hamster wheel in your mind, clean your house, change the decor, shift things around, donate things, give them away. Get rid of whatever is literally holding you back in a physical sense. Anything that's no longer resonating in a physical sense, go get yourself a new wardrobe. Do those things that make you embody this new version of you, this person that you've always been. Okay? Because they're really showing us, like, removing the layers of what wasn't serving, who we aren't, to discover who we are. So it's now time to embody this very authentic you in every aspect of your life. So this week, do that. Look at the external and go, what isn't matching up here? What isn't, resonating? And to meditate on that, like, who am I now? Okay? So we're getting this very big lens that is coming through here, where we're going to be looking at these things. We're going to be looking at who we are, what isn't resonating, and what needs to change and happen now. So new energy brings new circumstances. Allow room for growth and change, okay? Take the reins of your life. Expect surprises, glorious moments of fulfillment and celebration. Getting acquainted with the new you. And this is really cool because they're showing me, like, money, and this amazing influx of abundance and financial stability, okay? And they kept mentioning, like, this is going to be bigger than you've ever imagined. This is going to be huge, okay? And what was really cool was how they're kind of showing me how a lot of us have these worries around money right now. A lot of us have concerns. You know, many different places are going into recessions. We're going into these fear-based energies. But they're really kind of showing me here that whatever we're building now, whatever we're creating now is going to last, is going to outlast these sorts of worries. So I just felt like that really needed to be mentioned. So yeah, what came through is you will outlast them. Recession worries, put a cork in it. That's literally what channeled. Put a cork in it. This is not your reality. Wipe your tears. This will now be your time. All your worries will be gone. It no longer matters. You are now becoming who you've been signed up to be. Okay, so this is very cool. So once again, our projects. So they're really showing me how we've been in this very big lack mentality, self-denial, worrisome, burdensome. Like that's been a lot of our vibrations. But they're showing me how, once again, this is changing. This is shifting. They're showing us as we clear and do this spring cleanup, it's freeing this energy. It's releasing these things as we continue to muster this abundance mindset and do the work to create abundance in our lives and put ourselves more in this abundance energy. It is becoming a very lasting thing. So imagine that. Imagine grounding yourself so much in this abundance vibration that no matter what is happening around you, no matter the stories we hear around the world, the people around you in your life, you are so grounded in this abundance that you're untouchable. Okay, and that's what they're literally showing me, is this bubble of protection around you, where it's just like all these things, these fear-based energies keep trying to come in, but they cannot penetrate because you are so grounded in your own truth, in your own sense of self, in your own reality that you created, that you are totally untouched. So this was so cool, and I really feel like this is important for a lot of us. Especially, I'm hearing a special highlight on entrepreneurs. If you are like debating if you should be starting something during this time, I'm just hearing like, don't. Like, if you are getting this divine inspiration, do not let the stories that you hear around you take away from this divine inspiration for what you know you need to be doing. So I'm really hearing we need to be very grounded in ourselves. And they're saying sometimes what is logical is not always right. Okay, so remind yourself of that regularly. There's going to be a lot of people who might say, no, this is not the time to be starting up something new. No, this is not the time for you to be following your dreams. You need to be thinking logically and practically. And yes, that's valid, but I'm just hearing, don't stop. Don't give up your dream. Don't hold back when you've been given this soul inspiration. Follow through and ground yourself in this abundance vibration, because it is what's going to change the world. So I'm really seeing, don't surrender. Don't surrender to fear-based programming. Do not surrender to fear-based information. You are so powerful. You can change the world. And that is why we're here. Light workers, you are here to ground yourself in light. Okay, so we cannot let darkness overturn our light. We cannot give our power away to fear-based information. You need to be so grounded in who you are that you remain this anchor of light here. That is why you are who you are. Okay, where do you need this reminder? Wake up. Do not surrender to fear. Surrender to love. Please anchor this in. Okay, anchor this in. Some of you also need this reminder that if all you are seeing right now is the darkness, maybe that is because you are the light. Have you looked inward? Have you looked at yourself? Have you looked at who you are? If all you see around you is fear, is darkness, is drudgery, is all these fear-based energies, maybe you are the one who is here to surmount them, to remind people to be in their light. Never underestimate the power of your light. Never underestimate who you are, who you've been here to be. You just forgot. And it's okay. Sometimes you're going to forget because this world can be so consuming. But that's why I'm here to remind you today. That is why the universe is here to remind you of your light today. So please, light workers, do not forget your light. It's time to awaken to your power. It is time to awaken to the beauty of you. It is time to shine unapologetically. So, how can you do that? This week, take your light very seriously. Are you protecting your light? Are you staying in an abundant vibration? Are you purposely looking for every opportunity to engage in goodness? Are you doing things that fill your love cup? How can you make every single day the best day? These are actually very important things in your life. Have you forgotten how important it is to remain in your positivity, to remain and do things that fill your soul to the brim? Some of us have really not realized how important these things are. Where have we been programmed to prioritize burden, obligation over our joy and fulfillment? It's backwards. So many of us have been taught to prioritize things that in retrospect don't matter. Or we've forgotten how much our fulfillment and joy do. So this is where we're going to be seeing this balance of scales, my friends. You've been missing out. You've been giving your power away. You've been prioritizing all the wrong things, the fear and the darkness and the drudgery. Where's the time to prioritize your light, your joy, the abundance that you should be receiving? If you're not receiving abundance, why? Why? Could it be that you've denied yourself? You have to take a very constructive look at your life. How willing are you to receive abundance? Do you even deny its existence? How many fear-based thoughts do you have as opposed to loving and encouraging thoughts on a daily basis, on an hourly basis? How much fear-based energy, lack energy do you participate in on a daily basis over the abundance and love energy on a daily basis? Where do we need to be very mindful and intentional about where we are feeding our energy? Because it matters. And have the courage to test the theory. Because they're going, if what you've done so far hasn't worked, it's the definition of madness to keep repeating it. Have the courage, have the willingness to just try something new. To believe in yourself. To believe in your goodness. To believe you deserve it. To be willing to receive. So I'm hearing every single day, set the intention. Your intentions are so powerful. So set the intention every day. I am willing to receive my own good. I am open to the abundance of the universe today. Universe, show me the money. Show me the goodness. Show me love. Have you asked the universe to give these things to you? Have you asked the universe to teach you how to receive good in your life? If you're struggling with this, set those intentions now. Okay? Now this is going on the flip side because a lot of us are going to be waking up or have been waking up to our true inborn gifts. And we need to be talking about this. We need to be listening to what has been coming through in these areas. Where do you want to give? Where do you want to be pouring this love and light out into the world? These are some of the decisions they really want us to focus on. Whew, this is coming in strong. Some of you are like, maybe I should be sacrificing. Maybe I should be doing this because that's what's logical. Oh, no, that is too small for you. Okay, this is really coming through. They're like, no. Where are you going too small? That is too small for you, my friend. You are meant to be big. So where are you sacrificing, or where are you compromising what's actually good for you? The gifts that you're here to share, where are you actually going, I think I'm willing to compromise my joy and fulfillment and my gifts that I'm here to share with the world over this? Okay, so once again, they're showing me very small-minded thinking. Maybe it's money. Okay, maybe you're worried about money, and honestly, that's okay. That's a real fear. That's a real 3D thing that all of us need to be thinking of, right? And this has come up time and time again. But what they're kind of showing me is like, okay, evaluate those circumstances, but where do trust and love need to now come into this area of your life? Because a lot of us have just been once more pumping in the energies of lack and fear and, oh my God. So think about what are the energies you associate with money? What are the energies you're consciously putting in to that area of your life? Is it ever love? Is it ever abundance? Is it ever joy? Is it ever hope? Okay. No wonder there's lack. So some of you need to be shifting this, shifting our mindsets to money, shifting to what is possible for the universe and what is possible for you. Because my friend, you are a limitless being and you do manifest. You already are a powerful manifester. If you've manifested lack, wow, at least this is something to show you. You can manifest. Okay? Now we need to shift this vibration to abundance and joy and fulfillment. So I am seeing that a lot of us are thinking we need to compromise. A lot of us are feeling like, I can't do these gifts right now, even though you feel it, okay? And once again, where are you trusting your mind over your heart? Where are you trusting this logical energy over the intuition and the strong pull of your soul? Because your soul is always right, my friend. So you got to go in there. You got to start trusting yourself and think about those decisions of when you trusted yourself more than the logic or the external circumstances and how that did always end up in your favor. Because they're really showing me that when you trust your soul's guidance and intuition, it will never lead you astray. So where do we now need to trust and lean into our intuition when it comes to our money mindset, when it comes to our careers, when it comes to these things? They're really showing me we need faith. We need to be grounded in faith because there is a lot of fear right now. There is a lot of uncertainty right now, and we're feeling that. But where can we, once again, be so grounded in our light and so grounded in who we are that doesn't waver? So once again, put this force field of abundance around you. Put this force field of protection from fear-based energies around you. Ground yourself in joy, okay? So when it comes to these gifts that we're here to share, we need to be putting our focus there. We need to be putting our energy there. We need to be very intentional about developing these gifts and being willing to share them. And they're showing me brainstorming, like thinking of creative solutions of how can I be in my joy and be in my gifts and share my gifts with the world. So once again, this is abundance thinking because these gifts that you've been given, they are what give you joy. They are what give you joy. And what's so interesting is a lot of us are going to wake up to where we've actually abandoned old dreams because of wounding. Okay, so this actually channeled through recklessness, abandonment, seeing where you've abandoned old dreams because of wounding. Come back to your want. If hurt was removed, what would you do then? Stand in your glory. Shine in your light. You're here to shine, not shrink back. No more hiding. Strong push forward on the right path, clearing all wounds of judgment, inadequacy, and persecution. Okay, so this is amazing. So as we start getting illuminated to our gifts, some of us are going to have old dreams or old gifts resurface that maybe we kind of put on the back burner, or we stopped, or we've lost this desire to do them because we've let other people's judgment and fear-based energies take that dream away from us. And they're actually showing me that, how we place the power of our gifts in someone else's hands. So maybe we weren't conscious of this, but we're going to wake up to that this week. Once again, this is our week of reevaluating. Oh, maybe I actually still do want that dream. And maybe it's just this bad taste in my mouth from this former experience that tainted it for me. So they're showing me once again someone who's so talented, who's so brilliant, but then maybe the industry was really toxic and it just ruined it for them. And they're like, I'm not going to do this ever again. I'm not getting back in that industry ever again because it was so toxic. But yet, if you went back to your own want and was like, well, if I did this on my terms, I would love it. I still love it. There's a part of me that's me. So why are you stopping yourself? So once again, they're showing me the small-mindedness, the small thinking, how we think this is the only way we can do that dream. But that's not true. There's so many other ways that you could make this dream your own. Now, once again, some of us are wanting to avoid toxicity completely, and they're showing us ways to do that. So maybe it's like sharing your knowledge in this subject as a teacher or as on a seminar, right? Or maybe a workshop, or maybe it's in a book, or maybe it's on a podcast. They're just showing me all these other ways that we can actually be utilizing these gifts and meeting a wide range of people and getting this information out to many more people than we could if we were just, say, in a certain store or a certain environment or a certain place. So they're showing me how a lot of us need to be thinking bigger. We need to be getting a bigger lens and perspective of how to share these gifts because of the internet now, there are so many ways that we can be reaching others and helping others in ways that are going to be less invasive on us on a physical and energetic level. So I'm really showing us, they're showing us this week to follow the passion. Follow your passion. Once again, get reacquainted with who you are. So we're really in this week, ponder, think, feel, okay? I want to say feel more than think. You need to be going into your intuition, into your heart, into your soul. Who am I now? What is it that I actually want? And if I was to remove the wounding that I received from that former experience, from my past, around my dreams, would I still be doing them? Would I still be doing this? Is this something I want? Truly? And where have I just let others taint my dream? So we need to remove the taint. We need to remove this rejection of our dreams. And because it was kind of reckless, they're kind of showing me this reckless abandonment, like this complete severance of, nope, I'm not doing this because they ruined it for me. But it's like, no, like you're here to do this. Don't let people ruin it. Don't let these experiences ruin it. Okay? This is the time we need to be standing in our glory. So come back to your own light. Okay? Shine. You're not here to shrink back. No more hiding. So yeah, a lot of us have been hiding. We've been hiding our light. We've been keeping it locked away because we don't want to be out in the world. We don't want to be hurt. But my friend, you're here to be out in the world, okay? No, sometimes we can't avoid certain things that happen in our lives. But how can we be brave enough anyway? How can we say, you know what, this is actually impeding me staying hidden, shrinking back. This is hindering my light. This is hindering my joy. So I'm really seeing us make a conscious decision to love ourselves more than the fear, to love ourselves more than the past experiences we had, to love ourselves so fiercely that we see and take what we actually deserve, the life we need to be living. And go, you know what? I am going to be big now. I am going to shine bright now because this is what the life I deserve. And you know what? I'm not going to fear anymore. I'm not going to give my power away anymore. And they're showing me the importance of no longer taking things so seriously or so personally that it damages us. Okay? Because once again, we need to be in our light. So notice these things this week, and they're kind of showing me that there's so much that might be miscommunicated. There's a lot of this miscommunication energy, and that's going to happen with Mercury retrograde. So there might be little instances this week for some of us where it's like we might feel like, oh my gosh, this is a situation where I could definitely take this personal, or I could definitely be hurt by this, or oh my goodness, like, wow, okay. They're kind of showing me like an attack energy. So some of us might feel that from other people. But once again, they're showing me like water off a duck's back. Like, how can you just make the conscious decision now that that's not going to be taken on? You're not going to take on that energy. You're not going to be reacting on that level. You're not going to hurt yourself again, because they're really showing me how when we take on these things, it hurts us. We take on this whole energy. And so they're showing us, no, like, learn how to not take things personally and realize that this is that person on their journey. This is what they need to learn. This is what they need to work on. So I'm really seeing how we are taking this higher road, which is really a protection for ourselves. So communication issues, take nothing personally. Let all things go. You did the best you could. And then they're showing me this resource of strength, which is our friends. So they're like, lean on your friends for support. Now is the time for important conversations about the future to clear the way ahead. Seeing the vital need for recognition and self-respect in body, mind, and soul. So this was really cool because, once again, we might have these communication issues, but it's also this time for us to be getting everything out that perhaps has been unsaid in the way of what's next for me. And they're showing me these communications are coming from a place of love. So have that intent with every conversation that you feel you need to have this week. Do it with that intent. Like, I'm coming with this intention of love, of how I can clear the old so I can welcome in the new. And they're really showing me like it's more like problem solving to get to the destination. So as an example, if you get this awareness of, okay, now I'm ready to shine in my light. I now need to have this conversation with so-and-so to help me. And we need to work on how we can make this attainable, as an example. So they're just showing me this amazing conversation happen. And also seeing this intention take place where it's like, now I'm not going to compromise. So how can we brainstorm solutions that meet my needs, that meet this other person's needs, that help us grow together? And it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. We're finally claiming the self-respect. We're finally claiming these energies of I need to be topped up. So my body, my mind, my soul, they all need to be topped up. I can't be exhausted. I can't be compromising. I can't be constantly sacrificing. So what needs to shift to make things happen in a balanced way? Okay. So I love this. So a lot of us are going to be seeing this awareness of what needs to shift. And once again, we are going to get recognition to wounds, okay? So we have pain and injury, X marks the spot, finding solitude and rest, seeing the reasons for your wounding, why you need tender care, heart healing, seeing the truth buried inside. And this was really interesting because they're really showing me how we're going to be getting this X marks the spot where it's like, oh, this is the root cause. So this could even go with illness. This could even go with these issues in life, we're going to go, this is the wound. This is the root wound that has manifested this. And so that's why it's important. We pray for clarity. We set intentions for clarity. We take the time for clarity, and we meditate and we ruminate this week and start shifting perspectives, okay? So the truth is buried inside. Now, these were some interesting questions because a lot of this is going to come back to the overarching theme of fear. So a lot of us are going to awaken to that awareness that, oh, a lot of the problems that I've manifested are from this component of fear that I have. So how can I shift the perspective from how can I make it go away to what purpose does this fear hold for me? What are its lessons? And how can I now purify my mind to see reason and not lack? See all is already provided, and it shall be so. Believing in your dreams again, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're almost there. You're in your final stretch. Hold true to you. So this was very beautiful because once again, once we get this awareness to this root cause, which for most of us, it's going to be fear, our natural inclination is, let's get rid of it. Let's run from the fear. Let's bury it. I don't want to go there. That's the first thing that we do when we're triggered by fear. We bury it. It's uncomfortable. We don't want to go there. We don't want to look there. We want to protect ourselves. But this week, we have to have the willingness for change. We have to have the willingness to reevaluate what is so triggering. Why is this triggering? Why is this happening? Why have I allowed this to go on so long that it's manifested these areas in my life of lack? Okay, so we need to go to this root cause and look at it from a different perspective. So I love these questions. What purpose does fear hold for you? So look at that. What is this fear trying to teach me? Is this a generational trauma? Is this something perhaps past life related? Is this something that came from my childhood, right? Where are these fears really stemming from? And is this something you can get a handle on now? Okay, and I love this because they're like, purify your mind. So once again, the mind is what creates this fear. This is what this dwelling energy happens to be. So they're showing me how when we purify our thoughts, we release these tough programs we've had and start being willing to question them and to change them, it changes our lives. It removes this energy of fear. So if you have fear this week or anxiety this week that comes up, how can you really go in and have the utmost compassion for yourself? Because this, for a lot of us, is going to go back to that inner child who is afraid, who is terrified, okay? And this might happen when it comes to these big changes we need to make in our areas of our lives, perhaps in our dreams. It's going to require courage. So how can you do the work now to comfort your inner child and say, I know you're afraid. I know it's scary, but I've got you. And we can do this. We can break this cycle. We can be stronger than the fear. And I'm going to love you so much that I will take care of you, that I will make sure you get there, that I won't give up on you because this is what you deserve. This is what we need to be telling ourselves every single day. We need to be giving ourselves the comfort we would a young child every single day when they're afraid, when they're terrified. Not berating them, not telling them, oh, you should be scared. We should sacrifice. We should do this, do that, and compromise ourselves. Maybe we aren't deserving. Like, really look at the stories you're saying, the lies you are believing, and telling yourself, that little you, every single day. So they're actually showing me the importance of putting a photo up of yourself, of when you were young and innocent and so full of love and joy, and looking at that little you and fighting for her, fighting for them, and going, you know what? I'm not going to compromise because this is what they deserve. They deserve to have happiness in their life. They deserve to have love in their life. They deserve compassion and understanding. And it is okay if I'm afraid. It is okay. But I'm going to recognize my light now, and I'm going to claim it. So this week, how can we do this? How can we reward that inner child for being so brave, for being who they are? How can you guide yourself with the utmost compassion and love and courage and balance the scales? Because, my friend, you do deserve goodness. My friend, you do deserve the best life ever. And it starts now. It starts today. It starts the moment you become willing. So, go back to your heart. Put your hand there. See what's inside. Are you ready to let in your goodness? Are you ready to believe in yourself? Are you ready to change the world with your light? It's time. So friends, that's all I have for this week's reading. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts below. I am sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful week.